All the rain we've got coming, we probably are going to have some drainage issues over the next couple of days. Speaking of that, let's get a track of live Doppler radar right now. Nothing severe out there, but we have seen some cells producing a lot of small hail out there. You probably saw that at places like Mansfield and Lavaca. Saw some out of Ozark earlier. Clarksville also saw some. We do have some scattered thunderstorms out there. They're not severe, but they're thunderstorms nonetheless. And at times they're producing some heavy downpours, maybe even pockets of small hail continuing. You've got one just to the east of Greenwood here. That's going to be tracking back over towards Charleston. Ozark has one that pushes towards Coal Hill and Hartman. You got another one just to the north of Clarksville. And then we'll slowly but surely see things calm down the rest of this evening. There is a severe thunderstorm watch in effect for those of us here in Scott, Logan, and Johnson counties. That runs through 10 o'clock tonight. One of the things that we really got to watch for tomorrow is this warm front. It's actually the same front that moved through as a cold front a couple of days ago, stalled out. Now it's going to get ready to lift back towards the north. And as it does, it plays a critical role in our severe weather forecast for tomorrow. This is where we're going to expect it around lunchtime, lifting towards the north as it does. And that puts us in what we call the warm sector out ahead of it. That warm sector is going to be very humid. It's going to have a lot of storm fuel to it. And that's going to be a critical ingredient to those storms tomorrow. Here's the latest risk zones that we have. This is straight from the Storm Prediction Center. It was upgraded today as new data came in. It's evident that we are looking at a situation tomorrow where the atmosphere is going to be somewhat volatile. Level 4 potential here in red. That doesn't include everybody, right? But a good chunk of Franklin, Johnson, Logan, Scott, even parts of Sebastian and LaFleur. We do stair step down. Fort Smith, Van Buren, Alma, Poto, good chunk of Madison County in this level 3 in orange, level 2 in yellow. I wouldn't necessarily get hung up too much on what zone you're in. I think the key takeaway is everyone's under a severe weather potential tomorrow. It's just going to be highest the further south and east you go. When you lift the hood, you break it all down, you got to know this. We're looking at 2 rounds of severe storms tomorrow, the first of which moves into the area in the morning. Unfortunately, probably around rush hour. That is going to be more of a hail potential, some heavy rain, maybe even a little bit of wind. We get into the afternoon, and the reason that they upgraded the overall risk zone, yesterday I told you it was because of the hail, and that was true for yesterday, but with this risk as we look ahead into the future, it's being driven by the tornado probabilities. You can see those are much higher here in the River Valley, but that also extends into portions of Madison County, Carroll County, even parts of Washington County. What are those black hash marks? Those can trip people up. That just means that should a tornado or a hailstorm get going, it's probably going to be a strong tornado or some larger hail, not necessarily the garden variety weaker tornadoes, weaker in air quotes, right? Let's put Futurecast to work. This is going to be 11 o'clock tonight. Most of the activity off towards the east. We're going to sleep quietly tonight. We're going to be in fine shape. Showers and storms moving towards the north as that warm front lifts through the area. 6:30 tomorrow morning. It's probably scattered to spotty at best. More widespread activity off to our west. That's going to be moving our direction. Again, these are the ones that, yeah, they could be severe, and we'll be tracking mornings. Meteorologist Stephen Elmore's coming in real early for you tomorrow morning. He'll be tracking probably the potential for some hail, some heavy downpours, maybe a little bit of flash flooding. That round gets ready to exit off towards the east, and what we're really going to be watching is what happens late morning, early afternoon. Do we get this lull in activity? If we do, I'm a little more concerned for that afternoon round of storms because that means the atmosphere is destabilizing once again. I've seen it happen a lot where we have a lot of early morning rain that doesn't clear out in time, and that helps to mitigate the severe weather potential. I'm hoping it rains all stinking day tomorrow. If that's the case, we're going to be in a little bit better shape. If we get that lull in the activity and that atmosphere destabilizes, this is what could potentially happen. We're going to have additional isolated discrete supercells begin developing, and these boogers here are the ones that we're really going to watch really closely. They're going to have enough ingredients. Not only could they produce some large hail, 2 inches or greater, they're going to have a high propensity of rotating somewhat quickly. The other thing that may work in our favor, and gosh, I'm hoping, if we get this really messy storm mode, this messy convection where all these storms are kind of fighting each other for that energy, that can mitigate the threat a little bit. You still got to watch for these guys out here that are somewhat isolated and discrete. Here's the warm front. If it moves up towards the north as far as some of these models bring it, you can see all this red here. In fact, I'm going to back that up. I pushed it off a little bit too far. All that red, that's going to be some moderate to high, what we call it storm fuel. It's the invisible ingredients in the atmosphere, humidity. It's the propensity for air parcels to rise. It's a whole bunch of technical jargon. Nonetheless, I really want to know, where does that front make it? As it pushes off towards the east by tomorrow evening, our threat will end from the northwest to the southeast, but I do think we're probably going to be on guard for probably, let's say, early afternoon tomorrow into until at least 7, 8 o'clock tomorrow night. At that point, we still have more heavy rain to track. I think many of us are probably on track to see an additional 4 to 8 inches. I've got 4 different models. They all have a different idea, but the key takeaway is the heaviest of rain is yet to come. We have flood warnings already issued for some of our local rivers and streams. That's going to be these polygons here in that purple color, that red color, flood watch in effect for everybody else. As if we haven't had enough, we've had fires and dust, and we've had severe storms, and believe it or not, on the backside of this system, Sunday night, perhaps, snow flurries. It's not going to amount to anything, but goodness gracious, I don't even know what to say about it. Weather impact alert for tomorrow. Tomorrow is one of those days, guys, I just really ask you to be weather aware. Don't want to scare you. That's absolutely not my intent here, but it's one of those days that if you get a warning, you'd probably take it pretty seriously. We'll be here all morning long, all afternoon long, tracking those things. I do get brand new data here in the next couple of hours. So tonight at 9 o'clock, I'm going to go live on 5+, and we're going to have the brand new data. It's going to have updated timing, updated threats, and we'll have some additional in-depth information as to the things that we're going to be tracking for you tomorrow. Rain, even some rumbles of thunder will continue on Saturday. We're going to dry things out Sunday. It gets cool. If you got plants in the ground, be mindful of frost freeze potential. That looks increasingly likely. High pressure is going to give us all a break next week. Sunshine returns, temperatures slowly warming back up to near 80 about a week from now.